Welcome, movie watchers. Thank you guys for stopping by my channel. Today we're going to talk about the new Netflix series, Elves. Christmas vacation turns into a nightmare for a teenager and her family when they discover an ancient menace that stalks their island getaway. So this is not a family-friendly holiday series. This is about elves, not your typical elves, that are terrorizing this island. This family goes to this island for a Christmas vacation. Everybody that they run into is very sketchy. You can't walk on a certain path or run off into the fields because there's something there. And this young girl discovers this little elf that she tries to protect, but other people are against that. We have this mystery of the elves on this island. This is a very short series. There's only 6 episodes and they're only about like 20-ish minutes long. So it's very, very brief, almost the length of your average movie. And that's a problem because it's just tiptoeing around this mystery of these elves and really just teasing them. You're not really getting to the meat of the story. It's just kind of hitting the surface of it. It's not really expanding on this idea or the lore of these elves because they are quite interesting, really unique designs, and I always found them to be either menacing or very mysterious, and I wanted to know more about that. But it's not giving us a lot to soak in, and we're getting a lot of just brief sequences or sequences that just feel very long and drawn out, especially when it comes to this young girl who finds this elf. She's trying to convince her brother and her family that they hit something on the road and they are trying to protect it. It's just a lot of the same thing over and over again, and when you get to about the 4th episode, that's when it starts to kind of ramp up, but it's still just very, very thin, and you're not really getting much of the elves and the mystery of the island. And when we do, it's just kind of there. It's not really expanding on it. It's not really giving us deeper moments to that. It's just kind of average, and the writing for it is okay with just giving us like the bare minimum, not really going into depth with it all. And I found that to be quite disappointing because the series has potential to be something dark and sinister and have all of these connections between the island and the elves, but it's just not giving us all of that. And the tone is dark. It is violent at times. The elves are creepy. And so you have this tone which is very dark, and it could be a horror Christmas series, but like I said, it's just kind of giving us average things and not really expanding on it, and not expanding on those horror sequences as well. But the acting in here is pretty decent from this young girl who's trying to protect this young elf. She's very worried for the safety of this elf, and then anybody that's part of the island, not this family, they're afraid of this big fence that they have which protects the elves, and anytime that they discuss it, it's all very brief, and you can tell that they fear the elves and they don't want to really get involved, and so they often hide away from everything. And so I really liked some of that acting within here, the acting in here to give the elves that status. And so the acting is pretty decent in here. I also liked how it was filmed. Like I said, very dark. A lot of things are very grimy, and the way that they present the elves, like I said, teasing them, showing them kind of like behind the trees. Direction gives those elves that creepy feel. Just the series overall just feels very, very quick. I expected like within the 3rd episode, halfway through, that we would start to get really into the story, and it's just a lot of this young girl protecting the elf and trying to understand the elf and have the parents realize that they hit something along their way. Doesn't really give us much to go off of. It's just teasing a lot of things, tiptoeing around the secrecy behind the elves. And so by the end of it, it's a series that I'm just going to immediately forget. This is something I wish that I could have watched maybe next year, but I really don't have any interest in visiting this again. It's not like a horrible series by any means. It's just lacking depth in that story to make it gripping and worth visiting again. So before I give you my score for Elves, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm gonna go ahead and give Elves a C. Thank you guys for checking my review for Elves, the new Netflix series. Have you guys seen it? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.